Let's now simplify the following exponential expression. Now, one of the first things we got to do is to get rid of the parentheses. So what we would do is distribute the exponents inside the parentheses. Now, remember when you distribute the exponents using one of the power rules, you multiply the exponents. So for that first one, the x squared raised to the negative 2, that would become the x to the negative 4. So we got rid of the parentheses. Now the next step we need to do is to get rid of the negative exponents. And remember, if you have a negative exponent in the numerator, what that does is moves that exponential down to the denominator. And if you have a negative exponent in the denominator, that moves it up to the numerator. So what that did, it moved the 2 squared term down, the x to the 4th term down, and the x to the 8th term down. And then what it does, it moves the y squared up, the z to the 5th up, the 3 to the 3rd up, the x to the 18th up, and the z to the 15th up. So we got rid of all the negative exponents. Now the next thing to do is combine the exponentials in the numerator together and combine those in the denominator together. And remember, when you do so, if they have the same base, you add their exponents. So we combine the exponents in the numerator and denominator together. So on the top we end up with a 3 cubed, and then the x to the 18th, and then combining the y to the 6th and y to the 8th, we end up, y to the 6th and the y to the 2nd, we end up with the y to the 8th. And then the z to the 5th and the z to the 15th, we get z to the 20th. And then on the bottom, when we combine the x to the 5th, x to the 4th, x to the 8th, we get x to the 17th, and we still have that y to the 21st. Now, we have just to do is to cancel any common factors in the numerator and denominator and to simplify our coefficients. So if you notice, we have x to the 18th on top and x to the 17th on bottom, so 17 of the x's cancel, and we end up with just one x on top. We have y to the 8th on top, y to the 21st on the bottom, so we end up with y to the 13th on the bottom. And we have that z to the 20th on top still. And then simplifying our coefficients, well, 3 to the 3rd, that's 27. 4 times 2 squared, since 2 squared is 4, that would be 16. And then that would be our final answer. Noticing we no longer have any parentheses. Each variable shows up only once, and we no longer have any negative exponents.